Hey guys, what's up, RedExions here, and welcome back to this Hey guys, what's up, RedExions here, and welcome back to this brand new video. Today I'm going to take you through my adventure in the Kart4Fun Championship, a championship which is a little bit lower level. It's a club level championship and we just competed in one of the rounds to, kind of keep in a rhythm of racing and just for fun. Yeah guys, I know, I've been away for a little while, didn't do that on purpose. There's just some difficult things going on in my life right now and that required my attention more than YouTube, so I unfortunately had to move YouTube to the side there. But hey, I am back, so yeah. Anyways, the reason you're seeing me in my room now is because I actually recorded an intro when I was at the track, but for some reason that got lost. I don't have it anymore. So without further ado, let's just dive straight into the weekend. Alright guys, welcome back to Circuit Park Berghem. Basically my home track is really close to my home. And like I said, we are here for a round of the Kart4Fun Championship. A little bit of a lower level club championship, which we just competed in to have some fun and to keep in a rhythm of racing. We're using our oldest tonykart, as you can see. We're using our old engine and we didn't use new tires. So let's go through a hot lap of this fast track. We have a very fast right hand turn 1, then into a very fast left hand turn 1, into a flat out turn 3. Then when you brake into a hairpin, which is a brilliant overtaking spot, and you have to get a good exit here because this determines the amount of speed that you get along this long back straight. Here we brake again for another hairpin, which is a little bit wider, which immediately flows into a left hand hairpin, which is actually a really tricky combination of corners. It looks simple, but it really is not. Then we go into another flat out left hander, which turns into a little bit more narrow left hander, in which you have to brake and turn at the same time, which flows into a hairpin to the right, which is similar to the hairpins that we previously saw. Then going into the last real corner of the track, a 90-degree kink, or a little bit more than 90-degree, with which you can take a lot of speed. Then into the final corner of the track, which is a flat-out right-hander, which isn't really a corner. But it sometimes can be scary if you get it wrong, because those tire walls on the outside there can get really close from time to time. Anyways, like I said, I know this track like the back of my hand. I've been here many times. And in this championship there was quite a big difference between faster and slower drivers. And you can see that almost immediately when we go out on track. You just see that there are some big differences. Here we came into the pit to do a little bit of a tire pressure check. Here you can see just what I mean. Some slower drivers that we are overtaking. That guy decides to take a very interesting line there. Anyways, we skip a bit further on to the day. We are now in the second or third session of the day and we are behind two of the quick guys in this championship. The number 16, he has been racing in the Kart4Fun Championship for a few years, and the number 64, that's actually our good friend Tom. He has raced in the Dutch Championship, he has raced cars, and now, just for fun, he is doing the Kart4Fun Championship. Here you can see we are pretty evenly matched in terms of engine. We do have double slipstream though, which comes in very useful. As you can see here, we go into the hairpin. They pull away in the initial bit a little bit, because the slipstream is so powerful. You can see that the gap actually stays the same, and after that we start catching them up again. Here in the braking zone also we seem to be really strong. But sticking behind someone for so long isn't really what you want to do. Of course you want to get past them as soon as possible. And that's what we're going to do here. We actually get a really decent run out of the final real corner. So here we are very close, get some slipstream, pull alongside. Tom looks over his shoulder, he sees us, lets us through. No point really in fighting that, because that would be a humongous crash. In which you can break your parts, of course. And speaking of parts, the sponsor of this video, K Racing Shop, is a web shop for karting gear like helmets, gloves, overalls, chassis parts and engine parts. And if you use the code RED25 on checkout, you can get a discount on the all amount or a huge variety of products. Go check out their website. Every product that has a discount is marked with the RED25 marking. Just go check it out, save some money and help my sponsor and help me by that, of course. If you've been watching this channel for a little bit longer, you know K Racing has been a very loyal sponsor for almost 2 years now, and I'm very grateful for that. So definitely go support them also by ordering at their website and using my code. Anyways, a little bit further ahead in this session, we are still behind number 16. As you can see there, he runs a little bit wide on the exit, which allows us to get another really good run on him. But his engine is actually a little bit stronger than Tom, so we can only really tap his rear bumper. We didn't have the overspeed to put alongside. And also in the first corners he's actually quite strong. Now we go into the hairpin again. You can see here that he's a little bit unstable, which allows us to get a really good exit, which allows us to pull alongside. But without slipstream, his engine actually pulls ahead a little bit. So we have to really brake late, and we really kind of force him to the left hand side of the track. But hey, we did get the move done, no contact, and that was it. Now it seemed at this point in the day that we really had some good pace. I think we were in top 3 in terms of pace. Not really sure who was the fastest out of the 3 of us. But hey, we got through, and that's, I think, a really decent beginning to the day. Alright guys, half of the day is done, and I think it's going really well. Yeah, we had some trouble with the wheel hubs moving on the axle, unfortunately. I don't know why, they just move. I degreased them a lot, but they still move. So now it's time for better tires. There's definitely also some time to be found in my driving. But yeah, when the setup is constantly changing because this wheel is moving, of course that's not ideal. This time we're on tires that are from the Euro Trophy. Someone else threw them away, but we use them because yeah, it saves money. So yeah, let's see what we can do with all of this. Nou, mooi. Zal die van Wieske zien? Ah, die is mooi.
Die is voor boven je bed.
Ja, ja. Alright guys, I know you've missed it, but the helmet cam POV is back. Yeah, it's really cool camera to use. Here I'm actually waiting for some faster guys. The 305 is also a quick guy in this championship. He actually got P2 in the championship last year. Tom got P1, and guess who his mechanic was that year. Anyways, here I'm waiting for Tom to catch up to me and to kind of follow him around. Even though this championship is a little bit lower level, the same basic rules of finding lap time and driving in groups still apply here. So ideally in karting, when you are out in practice and when you are not the fastest yet by a big margin, you always want to drive in groups of other fast drivers. By that you can set good lap times because you get slipstream, but you can also look at the other drivers and see where you're gaining and losing time. For example, if we stay behind Tom here for a little while, you can see that on the straight we definitely have some power advantage over him. Also, of course, we have slipstream, which he does not have. And here you can also see that in turn 1 and 2 and 3 it's basically all the same. Then getting into the hairpin, you can see that he kind of rotates the car a little bit more aggressively, gets a little bit of a better exit. And yeah, that allows him to pull away a little bit, but by the end of the straight we catch back up to him. That could also have to do with the gear ratio or a setup for the kart. His kart could be set up a little bit more for acceleration, we could have been set up a little bit more for top speed. To be honest, I don't really remember because this is actually quite long ago. But yeah, that's some things that you can see when you're actually driving behind someone, and that's also all of you guys watching. If you, no matter in which level of karting you are, always try to find good drivers. There you can see that we get held up by a little bit of a slower driver. Anyways, later we catch back up to him again and we actually go green. We set a 45.1 as you can see on our lap timer there. And we can actually start putting some pressure on Tom now. You can see that he's struggling a little bit, might have tire pressures that went up a little bit too high, might have some tire wear, or he might just be slowing down a little bit, or we might be speeding up. Difficult to say at this point. There you can see that we actually set a red sector, so that's not that good. Then going through the final real corner of the track, you can see there that Tom actually lifts his hand up, and in karting that means that you go into the pit. So yeah, he unfortunately left us there. Then in the last session of the day it actually started raining. As you can see, we were a little bit wide there. You see some people spinning in the background, so yeah. Whenever you're out on slicks and it starts raining, just go into the pits immediately, and well, that is what we decided to do here as well. Alright guys, yeah, the day ended early. Unfortunately we got a little bit of rain there in the end. There's some people still doing laps, but it's drizzling, so we decided not to run. But yeah, the pace is good. I think we ended up quickest of the day. Tom's a little bit slower than us, but again, it's not really representative because I'm not running my race engine. I'm running dead tires. He is also running not his race engine and dead tires. So yeah, we don't know. But the feeling is good. And again, it's on the old tonykart, and it just works best for some reason. Now, time to take it apart and then have some nice food. Clean. Nice. Yeah, I don't really know what to do in terms of setup because tomorrow it's actually scheduled to be raining. So yeah, at least it's ready to go, and then we'll go back outside on track tomorrow. Now, time for barbecue. Alright, food was nice. Now time to go home. Hello guys, good morning. It is race and qualifying day and it is going to rain, possibly. Yeah, we have to pick up some stuff at my dad's business for today. After that I'm going to Berghem and then scrutineering, briefing, warm-up, qualifying, pre-final, final. Okay, so we're at the track. The sun is shining very hard. It's hotter than yesterday already. Yeah, let's see what today will bring. Hello, this is Tom. Yeah. So, we've entered the race. We've done the registration. Yeah, now time for the scrutineering. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem, I think.
Dat is een JJ-kart of wat mee?
Nee.
Ja.
Alright guys, the kart is ready. Almost time to go out. But yeah, the rain is still coming down a little bit and we're on slicks and it's difficult and bleh. What is the weather going to do? We don't know. And now it is dry again and I think it's going to be dry in the qualifying as well. So yeah, let's see how we do. Nice. First we have to attend the mandatory drivers briefing. I wonder what they have to say this time. And I am with this fat bitch. Ja.
Kwalificatie.
Alrighty guys, qualifying time. As you guys know, what I always say in qualifying, in our class the Mojo D5 tire that we use has a big performance peak in the first 2 to 3 laps that it is brand new. So in those 2 to 3 laps you can actually set a lap time that's 3, 4, maybe even 5 tenths faster than what you can do on a used tire. And to kind of make life difficult for ourselves and to save a little bit of budget as well, because that was also a huge determining factor, we decided to go on used tires, which well, like I said, we knew that that was going to give us a big disadvantage. We were one of the only ones who didn't go on new tires. So yeah, we expected to be at least 2 to 3 tenths of the pace from the fastest guy. And because I knew that, I decided to catch a little bit of slipstream from the 337 ahead of us there. Another quick driver in this championship. He's actually normally a driver in the ID Engines championships. But he also comes over to the Rotax every once in a while, so we decided to make great use of a slipstream there, going into turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, try to take them as smooth as possible. You want to lose as little speed as possible. Here on the happy you see that we're a little bit twitchy there on the apex, the steering wheel moved a little bit. I have to say that the weather conditions this day were quite different from what they were yesterday. There was a lot more grip out on track, which kind of, yeah, which didn't really suit me. I didn't really have time to, or yeah, I did have the time, but I just wasn't able to fully adjust to it. And also with the setup, I think we were a little bit not on the right track with that. You can see that the car is just twisty and oversteering in the mid corner, which is something that you do not want. Now going to the final wheel corner, that's actually a pretty decent exit. We do get a little bit of slipstream, which is something you want in karting qualifying. So you actually always want to follow someone, just like in practice. And yeah, all of that means that we are about half a second off in P8. So yeah, like I said, the new tires will make a little bit of a difference. We could have gotten a little bit more out of it if I didn't make mistakes, but I think getting pole position would have been quite hard. So we are going to start the pre-final in P8. Alrighty guys, welcome to the grid of the Kart4Fun Championship. It is round 3 of the championship, but that doesn't matter for us because we're only doing 1 round. We roll into the tram lines now, as you're used to with any 2-stroke karting race. 5 red lights, oh no, not 5 red lights, a flag goes down and away we go. You can see that we didn't really get the best of getaways, we actually almost lose a position there. There's one guy going around the outside in which we do actually lose a position to now. So I tried to recover that by dive bombing here up the inside, but I actually dive bomb so much that I completely compromised my exit and lose 2 positions because our exit speed was just so shit. Luckily here people broke very early, so I could sneak up the inside of 1 there, so we recovered back to P10. Here you can see that someone is on the inside, we just follow him through P9. That's, like I always say, a golden rule of karting. When there are 2 people ahead of you and one's overtaking the other, just go on the bumper right behind the guy who's doing the overtaking, because you basically get a free overtake, provided that the driver that's being overtaken does not just randomly turn in because he didn't expect you there. That's a little bit of trust that you need to place in the other driver, but 99.100, no, not 99 point, 99 out of 100 times it's completely worth the risk, like we showed there. Then we are already in lap 2. You can see that there's some chaos going ahead from P2 up until P8, which allows P1 to absolutely bolt away. He was a little bit clearer in qualifying as well. You can see him going around the corner there. And here's just a massive amount of chaos. It's a big train from P2 up until I think P12 or 13 behind me. So if we are aware in this situation and have good feeling of what the race is going to do, we might be able to gain a few places. There you can see that the 305 makes a little bit of a mistake. He actually brake checks the 372, which also means that he then kind of brake checked me, which means that we run into the back. Doesn't matter though, we get away with it, and we are now in P7. But you can see that the gap ahead is quite large now. Excuse me. But you can also see that they're battling quite hard, and when you're battling in karting you just lose a buttload of time, and we are now right behind the number 391, who is probably going for a move here up the inside. Yes, he is. We follow him through. We try to follow him through actually, but we get hit on our left rear wheel, which again makes us lose a place. So we overtook one and we get overtaken by someone else in the span of just 5 seconds. And then there's people who say that karting is boring and that nothing happens. Well, you should watch a actual karting race like this. And even when you go into the higher levels, this stuff just gets even more crazy. Anyways, we're now behind the 366, another driver from the Dutch Championship who is a really experienced driver. Really quick, especially around the Dutch tracks like this. So we decide to follow him through. As you can see here, we are now, we close the gap a little bit. And he is looking quite hungry to take the place of the 372, which is another Dutch Championship driver actually. Yeah, the field of the Kart4Fun, or the grid, was actually quite good this race. There were a lot of Dutch Championship drivers. Here you can see the 366 goes for the move. We follow him through, and here you can see, like I said, when someone ahead of you overtakes you, just follow him through. 99 out of 100 times you will also get that place, except for the one that previously happened. Anyways, yeah, now it was just time to focus, try to use the 366 to kind of pull us towards the front group, because yeah, without slipstream you're a little bit slower at this track, so it was really good that he was ahead of us. And as you can see here, we are keeping up with him, no problem. Yeah, we seem to not be losing any time on the straights or in the corners. Yeah, we seem to be very evenly matched. But then something happened. My inside rear wheel, or not my inside rear wheel, one of my rear wheels came loose. Well, not the wheel itself. As you can see here, we have completely lost our pace and the 366 has bolted away. But the wheel hub, which is the part that you see on your screen right now, it's basically a sort of piece on which the wheel is mounted. That came loose, so it started moving like this on the axle, so my rear track width was constantly doing that. And as you can probably imagine, that isn't really nice to drive, and it costs you a bucket load of lap time. But as we then actually pull around the final corner, you can see there that there's a black flag with an orange dot in the middle with our racing number, and that means that there's a mechanical issue with my kart and that we had to retire. And I was kind of pissed off at this point, as you can see by our very aggressive pit entry there, which is not the safest thing, I have to admit that. But this was not because of our rear wheel, but because I actually lost my chain guard. The thing that covers your chain so that nothing can get into it, or that when a chain snaps it doesn't fly off. And at the day of the race I actually thought that someone hit my rear wheel and that was the reason that my chain guard came off. But as we actually look at some footage of another driver, you can see that it just flies off by itself. So that was either a mistake by me or my mechanic, and yeah, that's a bitter one to swallow. And oh yeah, take the things that I say in the next clip with a grain of salt. At the moment I thought I got taken out, and that was why my chain guard came off. But it turned out that it just came off by itself. Yep, DNF got taken out, chain guard came off, right rear tire came in by 2 centimeters. Done. So yeah, we're going to start last 10 in the next race, and then yeah, let's see what we can do. Alright guys, welcome to the final, starting all the way down in P32 this time. Let's see if we can do some crazy overtakes and another crazy start like we usually have this year. We roll into the tram lights, the flag goes down, and away we go. And you can see that we just get a rocket ship getaway, which is already allowed us to gain 5 places, 6 places. Then there's a huge crash there on the right, which gains us another 6 places. So we are already up into P20 by turn 4. Make that P19, make that almost P18. No, P19. So we gained 13 places in 4 corners, which is, yeah, big fat W, I think. Here we get another place. We are now up into P18, so we almost cleared half of the field already before the first half of lap 1. Here we give the number 29 a little bit of a push, which allows us to go up the inside. A little bit dirty, but hey, it's karting, that sometimes happens. So yeah, we are now in P17, we overtook half of the field, and it is still lap 1, so that's good. Let's see if we can get some more overtakes. I know our engine is good, I know my pace is good, I know the car feels well. I fixed the sliding rear wheel on the rear axle, so that should stay in the place that I mounted it in. So yeah, I was feeling quite confident at this point. Lap 2 now, still 13 laps to go. Of course, at this moment, you have no idea how many laps there are left. Here we go into turn 4, go up the inside of another driver, P16, job done. Yeah, like I said, at this point I was feeling quite confident. But then at the end of lap 2, you can see that there's a yellow flag. And we actually go into a code slow, which is a karting equivalent of a safety car, in which everyone has to slow down and form a single line file. There you can see actually that there was a big crash that happened, and that's the reason why we got code slow. And the crash was actually so serious that we got a red flag. Like I said, we line up in a single file. We just wait for the accident to be cleaned up, and after that we can just get going again. We stay in the position that we are. We go just ahead with the race. Lap 4, we are on now. When we cross the finish line, we'll be in lap 5, and then when we reach lap 6, green flags will be shown, and we can get racing again. So yeah, in this lap you can warm up your tires. As you can see, everyone is doing it. Trick here is to not overdo it and actually cook your tires, because then you will have even less grip than with cold tires. Anyways, here I decided to take a little bit of a risk, leave a big gap and go on the power earlier, and then use the slipstream to kind of pull ourselves towards him. It kind of works. We are still behind the 372. Hey, at least we didn't lose anything. Maybe we can go up the inside into turn 4 here. Yes, we can. He leaves the door open. We kind of give the 350 a little bit of a push, which then bumps into the 372, so we get his position. Now we are alongside the 350. We outbrake him into the double hairpins, and boom, we are now up into P14. So we can kind of just continue on where we left off. But one thing that's lucky about that red flag is that the field is all bunched up again, so there are no big gaps, so we don't have to close gaps. We just can attack every lap, because that's what you want to do in karting. If you're not going forwards, you'll go backwards, which is a saying that I've said so many times, but it is just so true. Anyways, the gap ahead of us now is a little bit too big, as the 89 actually makes a little bit of a mistake there, so we kind of catch back up to him again. Let's see if we can pull off another move into turn 4. Yeah, we do go up the inside here, as the guy ahead of us also goes up the inside, but he makes contact, and then we go over the top of him. And yeah, big crash, and as you can probably imagine, that caused some damage. In fact, that caused so much damage that we actually had to pull into the pits and retire from the race. So we get another DNF, which isn't the first one this year, let's say that. And yeah, again, a very frustrating end to a race in which we actually had a brilliant charge. If we go look at a slow-mo of the crash, you can see that we go up the inside. The 19 tries to go up the inside of the guy with the red helmet, but he isn't fully alongside. He touches his rear wheel, launches him up into the air. Because of that, he suddenly stops. We carry our speed, and because he suddenly stops and we have speed, we actually go over the top of him. Completely bent the chassis. It was, yeah, pretty messed up. And that was the end of our race weekend there. Nice. So yeah. Yet another DNF. I'm starting to get kind of sick of this now. It just happened so fast, I had no time to react whatsoever, and yeah. Could I have done something about that? I don't know, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. But with that, guys, also comes the end of this video. Now, if you enjoyed that, then please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons, you know, it really help me when you do that. If you've made it this far into the video, and if you're still watching, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has still supported me, even though I haven't uploaded things. Like I said, things in my personal life are a bit tricky right now, and that's preventing me from kind of working and uploading stuff to YouTube. I hope, however, that I can now post a little bit more often, because yeah, I'm starting to feel better, and I can work on it again, and I'm enjoying it again, so that's good. In the meantime, when you're waiting for the new video, why don't you go check out the shorts playlist that I have here. This video, however, is done, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.